What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the GOAT Show. We got a lot of good games here today. Me and Blake will be doing our Week 5 predictions. In yesterday's game, we took Washington, but we're going to start out with Illinois at Wisconsin. Blake, who do you have?
In this game, I have Wisconsin winning 40-27. I'm expecting Wisconsin to bounce back after a very bad loss against OSU last week. Give me the Badgers by 13 this week.
I got to disagree with you here. I think if Illinois had a better coach, they would be undefeated right now, but they choked that game against Indiana. I like what I've seen from Illinois this year. I don't like what I've seen from Wisconsin. I think Chase Brown carries the Fighting Illini to a win over with the Badgers. Next up, we have another Big Ten matchup. We have Northwestern at Penn State. I have Penn State winning this game, 45-10. I don't really see it being close. A lot of people are saying Penn State's on upset alert, but Northwestern lost to some FCS schools, so I'm not really worried about this game. But Blake, who do you have?
I agree, Tate. I have Penn State winning 40-13. I don't think Northwestern really stands a chance going up against Penn State. I have Penn State winning this weekend, Tate.
Staying in the Big Ten, we have a Big Ten West battle. We have Purdue, who was actually my team that could have won the Big Ten West this year, against Minnesota, a team that I was not as high on. But I think Minnesota pulls this game out due to it being at home, and it looked very impressive this year. In a close one, though, I think O'Connell on Purdue side will look very solid. I'm going to the Gophers, 31-28. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, in this game, I also have the Gophers winning 38-23 against Purdue. I have this also being a close game, and like you said, they're playing at home. It looked very impressive, and they're the team to beat in the West right now. Give me Minnesota, Tate.
Staying in the Big Ten once again, we have a Big Ten East matchup. We have Rutgers at Ohio State. Rutgers does not stand a chance against Ohio State. Ohio State's going to dominate. I got them 52-13. But guys, who do you have, Blake?
Tate, once again, I agree with you. I have Ohio State winning big against Rutgers, 38-14. Don't see much of the game this weekend. OSC for the win.
Next up, we have a Big 12 battle. We have Iowa State, who's coming off a loss to Baylor against the undefeated Jayhawks. Rank Kansas, you stupid AP pool. But I think Kansas plays very exceptional in this game. Jalen Daniels is very solid. And I think they won this game against Iowa State 30-24. Blake, who do you have?
I do also believe this is going to be a very good game. I have Kansas winning 47-37. I think Kansas is going to shock a lot of people this year. I think they might go up 8-0 this year. Big 12's there to win. There's the win this year, Tate.
Next up, we have a SEC battle. We have Georgia at Missouri. A lot of question marks around Georgia this past week. Stop it. They're the best team in the SEC and probably the best team in the nation. Give me Georgia 49-10. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, I also have Georgia winning big against Missouri, 40-7. I think Georgia is going to continue being the top team, and we're just waiting for someone to challenge them right now. Tate, give me the Bulldogs this weekend.
Next up, we have Oklahoma at TCU. Blake is very high on TCU this year, but Blake, give me the Sooners winning this game. They're going to bounce back after a loss against Kansas State. Give me the Sooners 44-37. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, I have TCU winning this game, 57-54 OT game. It's going to be a high-scoring Big 12 Classic game. It's going to be very close, but I have TCU stopping the big bounce-back win this week, Tate.
Next up, we have another SEC battle. We have LSU at Auburn. I wasn't high on LSU this year. I'm still not as high, but Auburn looks terrible. So I'm going to go with the Tigers 27-17 in this one. Blake, who do you have?
This used to be a good matchup, but this year ain't going to be as good as years past. Auburn, like you said, looks terrible this year. LSU does look like a top-notch LSU team. Not knocking them, they're okay. Not the best we've seen. But give me LSU in this one, take 31-14.
Next up, we have a Big Ten battle. We have the struggling Spartans going on the road against the Terrapins, who are coming off a close game against the Wolverines. I think Maryland takes this game due to Michigan State's poor pass defense. I think Talia is going to go off this game. And I think the Terrapins get the dub 33-30 against the Spartans. Blake, who do you have?
Taking this game, I have Maryland winning 27-14. Maryland looks very solid. Even though they lost last week to a good Michigan team, they still put up one heck of a fight against one of the top teams in the country. I feel like teams are underrated Maryland this year, and Maryland's expected to do big things this week against Michigan State.
Next up, we have a potential upset Pac-12 game. We have Oregon at Stanford. Stanford only lost by 13 to USC. I don't think they're a very bad team. I think they're above average. But Oregon, they almost choked last week. They got 2 touchdowns in the last minute to end up winning the game. I think this is going to be a close game for Oregon. But I do have Bo Nix pulling it out for the Ducks 49-45. Blake, who do you have?
In this game, I have Oregon winning a close one, 24-21. I just feel like Bo Nix is going to have a sloppy game, but be able to pull it off at the end tape.
Next up, we have 2 Big 12 teams that are coming off 2 upset wins. We have Texas Tech at Kansas State. Texas Tech just beat Texas in the Battle of Texas, and Kansas State just beat Oklahoma. I like what I've seen from both these teams. I do think Adriano Martinez will get the job done for the Wildcats and win 20-19. Blake, who do you have?
Like you said, they both have big wins over the weekend. Kansas State shocking the world, beating Oklahoma, and then Texas Tech beating Texas in a close one. But in this game, I have Kansas State winning 34-27. Kansas State is playing at home, and I like their team better. Their offense looks more trustworthy than the Texas Tech offense does. So give me Kansas State this weekend, Tate.
Next up, we have a good Pac-12 matchup. It's not going to be good this Saturday, but we have Oregon State at Utah. Oregon State, I'm so mad at you guys. I picked you guys for an upset last week, and your quarterback decides to throw 4 interceptions against USC, man. Come on, man. You guys are going to get rocked. 44-13. Give me the Utes. Oregon State, you're bozos. Blake, who do you have?
I don't have the score being that big of a difference, but I do have the Utah Utes winning this one, Tate, 24-14. Like you said, Oregon State did not look impressive on the offense side of the ball at all last week. They really choked for a lot of people. But give me Utah for the win this weekend, Tate.
Next up, we have West Virginia at Texas. Man, Texas just doing Texas things, man. They're not back. But West Virginia, they've looked pretty solid the last couple games after getting out to a 0-2 start. But West Virginia, I like what I see from JT Daniels. I'm still high on the West Virginia team. And with how the Big 12 is going, they still have an opportunity to win. But West Virginia, let's ride. 37-34 Mountaineers. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, in this game, I have them Texas Longhorns, baby, winning this game 47-40. Texas is looking for a big bounce back win after they lost to Texas Tech last weekend. And it's at Texas. Give me the Longhorns, Tate.
Blake, you know what I gotta tell you?
What?
Horns down, baby. Next up, we have another potential upset game in the SEC. We got the Aggies versus Mississippi State. I was on Mississippi State until they lost to LSU. Man, they really sold that game. Sold my pick, man. But Aggies, they've looked good these past 2 weeks, beating Miami and Arkansas. And I like this team. I'm going to go with them winning 28-24. Blake, who do you have?
In this game, I had Texas A&M winning this game. They had a big win against Arkansas over the weekend. And I feel like they're going to continue this trend upwards and beat Mississippi State 34-27.
Next up, we have a potential upset game. Psych, get that out of here, bro. You're all going to say that this is a potential upset game, and then when Michigan wins, oh, it's only a win against Iowa. I'm already ready for you guys' stupid narratives. Michigan's going to win this game. It's not going to be as close. I'm going Michigan wins the game 34-10. But I want you to keep that same narrative you guys are all going to start after Michigan wins this game. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, in this game, I agree. I have Michigan winning this game 34-21.
Next up, we have a potential upset game once again in the SEC. We got Alabama versus the Razorbacks. Now, I don't trust KJ Jefferson after last week. I don't trust Arkansas. So I think Alabama does pull off the win. And I feel like Alabama makes a statement win, getting the win here, showing why they're a top 4 team. But give me Bama 45-31. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, in this game, I have Bama winning 37-24. KJ Jefferson is not that guy that's going to beat Bama this weekend. Bryce Young's going to light up Arkansas's defense. Give me Bama, Tate.
Next up, we have Oklahoma State at Baylor. Now, this game is actually going to mean a lot in the Big 12. If Oklahoma State wins, I feel like they're going to win the Big 12. Well, not win, but make the championship. But if Baylor wins, it puts question marks on the whole Big 12. Like, is any of these teams playoff caliber? But I do think Baylor wins this game. Baylor is literally playing for their playoff hope. If Oklahoma State loses one game and win the Big 12, they're still able to make it. But if Baylor loses again, they're gone. I think Blake Sharpin's going to play a great game. And I'm going to go with the Baylor Bears 27-25. Sick 'em. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, in this game, it's a hard game to pick. I went back and forth. But in the end, give me them Oklahoma State Cowboys. They're going to show us why they're ranked in the top 10. And they're going to play like a top 10 team and beat the Baylor Bears. Give me the score 36-34, Oklahoma State.
We are at our top 3 games of the week. Starting out in the ACC Conference, we have Wake Forest coming off a loss against Clemson. And we got them Florida State Seminoles, a team I have been saying is back all year. You know who I'm going to take? I'm taking the Seminoles winning this game 45-37. Hartman and Travis both have a day, but Florida State is a better team, and Florida State's going to pull out the win 45-37. Blake, who you got?
Tate, in this game, it's going to be a tight, clean game. Wake Forest came off a close loss last week against Clemson. But giving them Wake Forest 38-37, close one against Florida State, Tate.
Next up, we have where College Game Day will be at. We have NC State at Clemson. Clemson looked very good last week, and I don't know if I can choose NC State winning this game when it's at Clemson. And I'm not going to. I think Clemson gets a double-digit win over NC State. I have not been high on NC State all year, and I'm not going to be high on them now. Give me the Tigers, 34-21. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, you just said some crap there.
Awesome crap.
Give me them Wolfpack, 41-34. Clemson is not that team to win the ACC. They've sure lost last week to Wake Forest. Give me that Wolfpack, ACC champs this year.
Last matchup we have is Kentucky at Ole Miss. We felt like this was going to be the game of the week just because they're both very relevant in the SEC. And if Kentucky wins this game, the hardest game outside of this is probably going to be Georgia. And if Ole Miss wins this game, I mean, they got a tough road ahead of them. But all in all, I think this game will be a lot more entertaining than the Clemson and NC State game. And I like what I've seen from both these teams. But I think Will Levis gets the job done winning at Ole Miss. Kentucky fans, get ready to go wild because you're all winning this week, 38-35. Go Wildcats, baby. Blake, who do you have?
Tate, I have Ole Miss winning this game, 32-24. Jackson Dart is the guy for Ole Miss to get them, to keep them alive in the SEC chase. Kentucky's going to play a harder fought game against Ole Miss. It's going to be a very good game, but I have Ole Miss winning, marking it. Ole Miss Rebels, baby.
That's it for the video. Week 5 has a lot of good games. Like I said, the top 10 games that we just did are all like playoff relevant, and I expect a lot of upsets this week. It's going to be a great week. College football has been amazing so far, but enjoy the weekend, stay safe, and comment who you have winning the Kentucky Ole Miss, NC State Clemson, and all the big games down in the comments below. Peace out, Go Show.
Go show well.